Today is October 12th, 2025. And if I'm going to explain to you guys how to do something difficult, I have to be able to do it myself. And this you can apply to every single aspect of your life in terms of making a difficult decision for the better of yourself. Whether that be quitting any bad habit that you have, any bad vice that you have, or starting a new good habit that is hard for you to do, like waking up in the morning or going to the gym or quit watching porn or quit smoking every single day. You can apply this to every single thing that you do, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it and exactly what goes on in your mind. So like I said, today's October 12th, 2025. I've been celibate since the end of June, but today I have officially decided to be celibate officially for the rest of the year. Now, what does that mean? The reason I've been celibate for the past couple months is, first of all, I don't watch porn. Second of all, there hasn't been an opportunity that just threw itself at me, and I don't go out a lot, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm not looking for an opportunity to break my celibacy. But if there was an opportunity to throw itself at me, I might have folded. So in order to quit any bad habit, in order to start any new habit, you have to make that decision consciously, which is what I'm doing today. And I talk about this all the time. Our mind and our everyday habits and everything that we do on the daily, we basically do from our subconscious mind, and it's just like auto-suggestion. We just do it because that's just what we're used to doing. And I've been thinking about this for the past couple days, the past couple weeks actually. I know being celibate will be good for me for the rest of the year because it is a lust. I had a lust problem, but I didn't want to do it. It's difficult for me. For any man, honestly, that's going to be 6 months of full celibacy. So in order to apply this to your life, in order to start going to the gym every single day, in order to quit smoking, in order to quit drinking, in order to get over your lust addiction, you have to commit and you have to come to a decision. Because like I said, for the past couple months, I've been celibate. But if there was a opportunity that threw itself at me, I might have, taken the opportunity. But now, since I've made that decision to fully be celibate and I've consciously thought about it and made that decision, it's impossible. Even if there is an opportunity that throws itself at me, even if there is the sexiest woman in the world, I'm not going to fold because I've fully made the decision and I've fully committed to what I'm going to do. This is the problem that you guys have going to the gym, starting a healthy diet, quitting your bad vices, is you think in your mind, if someone asks you, can you stop smoking? Yeah, you're like, yeah, of course I could if I wanted to. But you haven't consciously thought about what your life would be like if you stop doing that. If I asked you, are you ready to start going to the gym? Are you ready to start bettering your life? Which I get on calls a lot. And I ask people, are you ready? Are you actually committed to doing this? Of course, their first reaction is yes. Nobody's going to say, no, I'm not. So why is it when I ask them and they say yes, and then a couple days later, they're still not going to the gym every day? They're still stuck in their bad habits of waking up late. Why does this happen? The reason this happens is because they're operating off their subconscious. They said yes to me that they're ready to change subconsciously off of the auto-suggestion, like we mostly do. And they haven't consciously thought about what their life would be like with their new good habit or quitting their old bad habit. And it's kind of like there's a balance between cold turkey and not cold turkey. So a lot of people that say, you just need to do it cold turkey, I agree with, but it also doesn't all happen at once. You don't just wake up one day and be like, all right, I'm going to do it. Because if you do that, you're not going to follow through long term. You have to set goals for yourself in order for you to follow through, and you have to consciously think about it. So what I mean by this is for the past couple weeks, I've been thinking, I know I had a lust problem in the past, so I know me being celibate for the rest of the year will be good for me, but I know it's what I really don't want to do because obviously I'm a young man. I have desires. That's going to happen, but I know it's a problem for me. So I know it's going to be good for me by being celibate. And this is your problem. Going to the gym is going to be good for you. Eating healthy is good for you, but you haven't consciously thought about what what it would be like to go to the gym every single day. You say, you subconsciously think about it, yeah, it'd be fine. But you haven't consciously thought, can I wake up every day at 6? Can I wake up and actually do this? It might take you a couple of days to really think about it because it's a hard decision. It's a new change in your life. It might take you a couple of weeks. I've been thinking about this for the past couple of weeks. I've been talking to my friend like, bro, like I really don't want to do this, bro. I'm just like, fuck. But I know it will be beneficial towards me. And, thinking about it, I've been consciously thinking about it, like really imagining what my life would be like. And that is how you come to the decision. Because now I'm fully making the decision. There is no going back on my word. There is no lying to myself. I'm not it is what it is now. So for the rest of the year, that is what it's going to be no matter what. Some of you guys are still giving yourself the option, still giving yourself the choice because you haven't made a decision yet. You're still stuck in between two decisions. Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I go to the gym? Should I not go to the gym? You haven't fully committed to, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to the gym every single day. I'm going to eat better every single day. I'm going to do this every single day. You have to fully commit to something in order for you to actually follow through with it, and you have to think about it before you make the decision. You can't just subconsciously all at once, do it. And it is difficult. Like I said, it's going to be difficult. But if you know what's good for you and you should be doing it, it's going to take longer, to make that decision. And back to what I was talking about with, the decisions. Right now, you're stuck in between two different choices because you haven't fully committed one way or the other. You're still 1 foot in, 1 foot out, which I have been for the past couple months. So if there was an opportunity to present itself, I would always go to the more comfortable option, which would be, not being celibate, because that's what I want. So you can't be 1 foot in, 1 foot out with anything, or you're always going to go back to your most comfortable habit, which is, not going to the gym, which is smoking. So you have to commit one way fully. And once you finally commit to that way, it is, like I said, once you finally commit one way, it just takes all the guesswork out. It's no, should I do this? Should I do that? Because if you still haven't committed, like I said, your brain and your mind and your actions are just going to always fall to the most comfortable way. So think about it for a couple days, maybe even weeks. It depends on how hard the habit is to break or how hard the new habit is to start. Think about what it's going to be like. Think about how it can better your life, the pros and the cons, because it's going to be good for you. The con is just you don't want to do it. The con is it's going to be difficult. That is the only con. There is no actual con of going to the gym. There's no actual con of, you quit smoking. Your brain's going to make up all these excuses on why you can or can't, or why you can't. But the only con is that it's going to be difficult. The pros are, there's unlimited amount of pros of you starting a new good habit and quitting your bad habit. So it's good for you. You just have to fully commit. And once you fully commit and make that decision, that is when you can change, and that is when you can follow through with what you say. And it's crazy because what seems difficult now will soon become a habit and become the new standard. If going to the gym is difficult for you now, like it was for me at one point, once you get used to it, after you go for a couple weeks, a couple months, now I love going to the gym. At one point, it was impossible. So what seems impossible for you to do, you will then create a habit out of it, and that will now be the new standard. That is just a part of what you do every single day. And in order to grow and get better, now you have to create a new impossible goal that then becomes the new standard, then create a new impossible goal. And that is how you just grow and you continue to keep getting better. And as a man, you have to recognize your weaknesses and be able to work on them and not just say, that's just who I am. You have to grow and get better.